Hey guys, Desolate Magic here. Can't believe I have to make this video again. That's right, I've made this video in the past, but apparently some people haven't gotten the memo or some people are just that clueless and arrogant. So not too long ago, Rudy from Alpha Investments made a video spreading this ridiculous rumor. I do believe he presented it as unconfirmed, just, oh, I've got some evidence, whatever, which, you know, nothing really wrong with that, except he kinda does it a lot. When it comes to secret information about wizards and how they do things and them trying to cover stuff up, I mean, you don't exactly have, like, on-the-record sources and photographs and stuff. Like, I get it. But this was so ridiculous. Let me just state what it is, and you guys will know how ridiculous this is. So he said, cards like Fatal Push are printed at a lower rarity. Or, well, I guess you would say higher rarity, a lower prevalence. So there are less Fatal Pushes in the set than other uncommons. And so, you know, oh, if you're like, oh, I never open a Fatal Push, that's why, because it's actually a rare. So it's like reduced by, I don't know, what's the difference between the two? I think like 40% or 60 or something like that. So there's less of them, and that wizard, some secretive staff member allegedly confirmed and leaked the information that they did it for draft reasons because the card is too good in draft. That's allegedly the proof. So I made one video at least, maybe two, debunking it because, well, Rudy decided to end his video with, I don't know, I'd have to like get in touch with one of the large single sellers that opens a lot of product and sorts them into piles because, duh, that's how you do it. You just grab a bunch of boxes and open them. That's how you'd prove this or test the theory. Well, gee, I know somebody who opens that much. Me. So let's go back in time a little bit. You guys remember this video? I believe this was actually the thumbnail, if I remember correctly. People were saying, well, some more powerful and less powerful cards are adjusted in their rarity, their prevalence, within the uncommon slot. And so I pulled every copy of Forsaken Sanctuary, Oathsworn Vampire, and then those are supposed to be the two shitty cards, and then the Merfolk Mistbinder and the Ravenous Chupacabra, which are supposed to be the two really good cards, like ones where wizards would know, even before the metaforms, even before the Pro Tour, before anything, they'd be like, okay, a 2-cost 2/2 that boosts all of the Merfolk, okay, you know, we'd have to put the brakes on that one. So now, for Rivals of Ixalan, I didn't actually sub-sort by card every single uncommon because they were pretty much universally garbage. I just pulled like the 2 or 3 that were worth selling, and then that was it. So I went back to my entire pile of thousands and thousands and thousands of uncommons and then pulled these. So you can see the numbers. I got 42 Forsaken Sanctuaries, 41 Oathsworn, 42 Mistbinders, 42 Chupacabras. So were those 4 cards just not the ones that were repeated or lowered, I should say? Because some people, like Perp on his live stream, which that's why I'm making this, said, oh no, there's tracks. There's track A, B, C, and D, and that's how they do it. They put the repeats on D or something like that, and then, you know, that when they're mixing them in, it's real subtle. Well, there's not a pattern. No, there's a pattern. I don't want to say there's not a pattern. By the way, box mapping is not a myth. It's just less accurate. The rumor is that there's repeats of certain rares and repeats of certain commons and uncommons. The commons, I don't know, never subsorted those, who cares? But there's supposed to be, like, if you open, you know, 10 grand worth of cards, it's supposed to get like 50 of one rare and then like 100 of another because it was printed twice on the sheet and they put it on the D track and then mix it in more. And the other theory is it's in the place of like a better card. So you're going to get 25 of a good card, 50 of most of the cards, and then 100 of, oh no, wouldn't it be 75? Whatever. A lot more of another card that they doubled up on or whatever. So in my Rivals of Ixalan experiment, I just picked 4, not exactly randomly, but I picked 2 at random, then 2 valuable ones, and okay, maybe those weren't the ones affected. Those were the normal ones. So let's go to what people are actually talking about, which is Fatal Push. I looked back at my eBay sales records and then counted 4 representative piles from Aether Revolt, which is what the set was in, and I pulled exactly the number I should have, except 2 higher. So I opened like 50, 60 of every uncommon, and then it was like, I don't know, 58 or something Fatal Pushes that I sold. I mean, I didn't write down the exact number. I was just looking for an anomalous amount where it would be like, whoa, I only sold 20 Fatal Pushes, which means I only opened 20 Fatal Pushes. What the hell happened? Conspiracy confirmed. So that individually was false, but you know, these smaller anecdotes, these small tests, there could be flaws with them. What you have to do is open like 300 to 400 pounds of cards. We're talking about $10,000 worth of cards, and then sort them individually by card. Put them in piles and see which piles are half the height and which ones are double the height, because that's what would happen. Well, would you look at that? It's a picture I took at my shop of when we opened about 300 to 400 pounds of Oath of the Gatewatch, give or take. It was about $10,000 worth, and there's all the cards sorted by card. Well, that looks awfully level, doesn't it? Okay, the one in the middle bottom in the multicolor row, that is actually more than one card in that pile. It's like, it wasn't tokens, I think it was like the lands or something, and it's actually triple the height of the one next to it. I don't remember why I did that. I think I just like ran out of space or something and wanted to be symmetrical. But okay, besides photographic proof right in front of your face right there, let's go with my personal account, because remember, if I opened half of an expensive rare than what I was expecting and half the number of any other rare, wouldn't I notice pretty damn quick? Because, well, now I've got black sorting trays. So every set, every rare gets sorted by card, then I count how many playsets I have, and then I list them all on eBay. It has never, ever, ever, in the last 4 years, ever been inconsistent. Not even one time, one set, one rare. Wouldn't I be making a video about it if I opened, Amon Ket, and I'm like, oh, I opened half the number of Scarab Gods than I thought I would. No, I opened like exactly 17 of them. I got about 15, 16, 17, or 18 of every single mythic, evenly across the board. Every single one of them. If I was like, oh, this big money card, what the hell? I only opened 8 of it. I'd be telling you about it. I mean, a huge portion of what we do at my shop is open sets and sell the singles, okay? If you want to ask somebody about tendencies and probabilities and patterns and shortages and conspiracy theories, ask me. And I am telling you right now that in the last 4 years, there is no card that has been an incorrect number within its own rarity. It has never happened. It is a complete myth, and unless they only send rigged boxes to certain distributors or I don't know what would be the explanation for this. My shop, my business, me personally is the experiment. Okay, so like, how do you say that that's not the case, that I did something wrong? Well, I miscounted. I didn't notice that I only pulled 8 Scarab Gods instead of 17. No, I would notice that because I'd be out of business. Every set, I put them into the black trays, I count them, and I say, okay, I've got 3 play sets, 3 play sets, 3 play sets, and I will tell you, it is very consistent. I mean, it is like plus or minus 5% per pile, I'd say, like at most. Like in piles of 50, I don't think I've had a variance of above even 4 cards, which okay, that's like 9%, but whatever. 8%, something like that, whatever. So that's within the reasonable margin of, rarity. And I guarantee if I opened 10,000 boxes, the variance would probably be 0. I mean, I'd probably have literally the same number, I mean, plus or minus 1, because, who knows when you stopped in the sheet mix opening the cards. You would have exactly 500 to the number of every single rare. Or some just enormous number like that. And on a smaller scale, that's what it is. And people saying, oh, you didn't open enough to see the difference. I would say if you opened $1,800 worth of boxes, that would probably be enough to prove it. Because at that point, you'd be like, wow, I've got 4 of this mythic and 8 of that mythic. Now, if you open one case and you're like, wow, I got 2 of this rare and 0 of this one, ooh, conspiracy. No, that's not a big enough sample size. But when you've got piles of 50 of every rare, that's a big enough sample size where one of those piles would be 25 if this ridiculous conspiracy theory was true. It's not. If somebody has some quote from Mark Rosewater or whatever that allegedly exists saying, oh, there were less fatal pushes, yes, we confirm it, then he's wrong. I mean, because I opened exactly the number of fatal pushes that I thought I would. So are there rigged boxes and not rigged boxes? Are the repeats all on the tail end of the print run? Like, what's the explanation here? And plus, don't they give away full uncut sheets occasionally for tournament prizes? Is the same card on the sheet twice? Is it in the first spot and then it's in the bottom right corner too? Because that'd be pretty damn easy to notice. That's the only way you're going to get more of a card. Refute my results. Like, all I do when a set comes out is buy thousands of dollars of it, open it all, sort it, count it, and then sell it. So what is your explanation for me getting exactly consistent, even, perfectly level numbers of every single card in every single rarity? Because That's all you need to do to debunk it. So everybody's saying, oh, I'm going to get enough money to open enough to debunk it. Go for it. You're saying you're literally going to do what I already do as a business. You're going to replicate what I'm doing and get a different result. Really? How? So if somebody still wants to be an asshole about this and say that I'm wrong or I miscounted, I'm opening different boxes than everybody else or whatever, I guess what would even be left logically at this point? That I'm just lying and I'm covering for wizards? What? No, I don't know if you caught this yet or not, but I don't like Wizards of the Coast. And if they're ripping their customers off or lying about something or misrepresenting something, I'm going to catch them and I'm going to make a video about it. So I hate to even give people who still think that this is a thing and think that I'm somehow wrong or whatever, I hate to give them even 2 seconds of my time. But if it'll make you all just oh so happy, I honestly, I don't have that big of an order of Guilds of Ravnica coming in, but it's big enough to show it. I will take a picture of all the card piles all sorted out from above saying, here's the exact quantities and everything. And then hopefully everybody can shut the hell up about it. By the way, if I recall, I called out Rudy on this and said, well, how do you explain this? Like, I think I even called him out in the video and he ended up like going back on it. I think he made a statement saying, yeah, I guess it was a rumor and it was wrong. Ask anybody who opens enough, because honestly, there's not many of us out there. Single selling is so unprofitable, most people have dropped out. But just send a message to some eBayer who sells thousands and thousands and thousands of cards, or TCG Player, or whatever. You could send a message to Card Kingdom, but I mean, come on, wouldn't they cover for Wizards? And ask them, do you get suspiciously low amounts of some rares and suspiciously high amounts of others? And they'll tell you the same damn thing that I do. No, it's a myth. They're consistent. They're printed on sheets. They're cut apart and they're put in the sets. There's no duplicates. There's no anything. So as far as this track printing thing, that's just how they randomize them. Oh, the only other thing that I could open this up to is a different printing facility is capable of doing this. So over in like Europe or Asia or something, or Japan, then that is true. I mean, okay, I don't open Japanese packs, who knows? But in America, in the English cards, the ones printed in Texas, this is not true. I have proven it, so can people please shut the hell up about it? So people saying, oh, we have absolute proof that they use track printing, they've confirmed it. Yeah, probably. It doesn't mean that the number going down the tracks is any different. I believe track printing is how they randomize the cards. And also, who knows how they're going into the boosters? That's why people who say that the boosters, the boxes are still 100% mappable. I would say they're probably 50 to 70% mappable. I mean, remember, Wizards has said that boxes aren't mappable anymore like 4 times, like in the last like 20 years. They said, we fixed it, and then like the very next set was like super mappable. So, I mean, surprise, surprise, guys. They're in a sheet, they're cut, and they're stacked in the same order. They come down the conveyor belts in the same order, and then they go into the pack in the same order. And the more you move the cards around and like shuffle them by hand, the more you're just going to damage the edges. So, and shocker, they don't use like a quantum photon splitting mirror randomization card to determine where to put them. So no, it's not random and there's going to be patterns. That's why people saying, well, I've got this app and I've got this software and this, you know, we can guess with X amount of you know, confidence that this box will contain this rare. Yeah, at that level, probably. It wouldn't be 100% accurate, but yeah, you could probably say that if this box contained this and it was in this position, that the next box in the case or one of the boosters 20 to 30 down from it, one of them will have this in it. That's just, oh, I'm taking advantage of the randomization. Like that's not box mapping. Box mapping back in the day was like, go over 3, down 8, there is your mythic. Done. And it was like 99% accurate. Like the only way it would be inaccurate is if somebody shook the box and accidentally flipped the 2 in the 3 spot or something. And that's because it was just 100% automated zero randomization. So I think that the staff at the printing facilities, they put them into the box in whatever order they feel like. And yeah, you can mentally and in like as a human just being lazy, accidentally create a pattern by not, you know, you're randomizing them in the same way every time. Whoops. You know, not everybody there working for like minimum wage. And honestly, where I worked at the printing facility, we had people coming in for the prison for work release. Okay, these aren't like the most dedicated to quality workers ever. And this is not the most dedicated to quality printing facility ever, FYI. I'm talking about the one in Texas that allegedly prints these cards. So, yeah, if your boss says randomize them and kind of shuffle them, you're not going to do it differently every time. That's why people saying box mapping is still a thing. It's still kind of a thing, and you're kind of taking advantage of maybe somebody not doing their job properly or just the inability to realistically completely shuffle all the cards. But people saying that box mapping is 100% consistent, oh my god, no, it's not. Would I buy loose boosters on eBay though? Hell no. Would I buy a half box? Hell no. Not even just because of maybe box mapping or them being right enough times that it's diminished in the number of money cards, but you can scale them, okay? Pokemon already fixed this. They'll put in like a thicker backing card or whatever if there's or a thinner card if there's a foil, because the foil is way more, so every pack within reason weighs exactly the same amount. So whether there's a foil in it or not, you wouldn't really know. But Magic cards, you can put them on a real sensitive scale and find out if there's a foil in there or not. I mean, hell, you could probably use a metal detector, honestly. So if you're looking for money in the foils, don't buy loose boosters. But also, somebody could have sniped the mythics or rares. You know, even if they're like, oh, okay, this next box somewhere in the right side row or somewhere in the bottom of the box is supposed to be the money card, and then they open 6 packs and one of them has the money card because, oh, look, we were right. Yay. Oh, patterns. They don't have to be dead on, spot on with their box mapping to, you know, hit it and then sell the rest, where they're extremely certain that the rest don't have a money card in them. So this fake rarities, some uncommons are actually at rare prevalence, some are printed half, some are printed double, 100% bullshit. Box mapping is still kind of a thing, and you shouldn't buy loose packs from sketchy people on eBay. Absolutely confirmed, with the caveat that it's more of an inexact thing at this point due to some levels of randomization. So 2 conspiracy theories clarified. I can't really call them debunked, but well, one of them was debunked. Hopefully this is the end of it. I already know saying that it won't be, because some people are stupid. So hey, do me a favor. If you don't believe me, go get $5 grand worth of cards, boxes, whatever, open them all up, sort the cards, and oh look, you've got the same number of every rare. What do you know? You just wasted all your money. Or just take the word of somebody who does that for a living. Me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.